2, test, test, test. I did leave my window open because it's so nice outside. I hope that's okay. So again this week I will be using the Lens Tarot. I've started putting a lot of stuff in the box. That's probably not a good habit to be in. I don't want my cards to get scratched up on the back. I went on a huge adventure today. I found some lavender and uva ursi at an herbal shop up the street. And on my way home, I found a bunch of free VHS tapes. So today we're going to be doing the water signs. And the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I'm also going to be doing something a little bit different when it comes to the crystal scrying videos on the member side of the channel. So previously I was using the crystal for all of the different elements. But moving forward, I'm going to be using the elementally appropriate scrying material. Which means that today I'm using water for scrying. I might also, if it seems appropriate, use tea or other liquids or suspended oil or things like that. Today we're going to keep it simple. Hi Savannah, thank you for coming today. It's good to see you. Let's start with the astrological sign of Cancer. I've shuffled the cards a fair amount. Oh, I don't think you're late, Savannah. I've just started. And let me put down the timestamp. Oh, I hear tuba music. Hold on. I guess I'll just have to close the window. Sorry about that. All right. So Somebody showing up as the Queen of Wands. This could be you, Cancer. It could be a fire sign person around you. Queen of Wands is often associated with the sign of Leo, fire sign, energy, and very feline. Somebody who's very charming, very charismatic, life of the party. We have the Four of Swords and the Death card in the reverse. There needs to be a change because you're not getting enough rest. But the change, you might not be ready to make it. You might not feel ready. This could involve a lot of social engagements. Money can also be involved in livelihood. Oh, nice. So the next couple cards are reversed. We have the Comforter and we have the Happy Squirrel. One would imagine that the Comforter would be somebody who would take very good care of a squirrel, for one. We do have that elemental fire energy implied in the Happy Squirrel also around the edges. We also have the infinity symbol, which is a representation of the infinite power of Source coming down into the subject of the card. So this Happy Squirrel could be something very powerful indeed. And perhaps these cards are showing up together reversed because what seems like it should be a very good pairing and very harmonious is not bringing out the best in either party. The Comforter having to put in too much emotional labor, and the Happy Squirrel letting their rambunctious energy dominate the situation. So, but just that in this particular case, she's been very generous with her energy in a way that perhaps isn't mutually beneficial to that particular situation. Okay. So after that, we have the High Priestess. Now, there's a lot of the passive energy coming out. So some people might call that feminine energy. In this particular case, somebody keeping a lot of secrets, storing a lot of knowledge in their mind. And there could be aspects of this overextending behavior that are tied up in keeping one's own secrets, potentially as well, as a way of deferring suspicion or deflecting attention. So not necessarily that there's anything going on even, only that there is a technique this person is using to ameliorate because they have things that they want to keep hidden. We have the family reunion card, the 9 of pastimes coming out. And this can be about groups of people coming together for a good sporting time. It is a wish fulfillment card of sorts in that the 9s are almost completions. And in this particular case, the 9s are also we're looking at 3 sets of 3, which makes it very square, makes it very perfected. Whereas 10 is the completion of a cycle, but 9 is a perfected completion because you have those 3 sets of 3. So we have the Empress and we have the Queen coming out in the reverse. And these are coming out around this 4 of Wands. So there's an establishment of an energy here. Could be a rejection of passivity, could be a desire to take action, passive feminine roles perhaps, that there's been an establishment, and this is one of the 4 of Wands that is associated with, we've got a lot of feminine energy in this card too. Those 2 older ladies being the ones doing the knitting. There could be like some toxic habits surrounding passive behaviors. It could be passive aggression, but it could also be over nurturing, overextending, what we see here with the comforter. And perhaps that what is happening then is that it is getting established in the patterns that you teach children, that it could be getting established in a relationship. Maybe you're not like this in every relationship. And by relationship, I don't just mean love, partnership. I mean like all kinds of relationships. It could be a particular dynamic, for example, that you have with your mother. Because this would be like a generational, matrilinear kind of an energy as well. And there could be a situation coming up where everybody's going to be getting together and taking part in some kind of exciting games. So this could even be like a marriage card if there's going to be a big get together. Could be a family reunion. It could be getting together for the holidays also. But what would make this specific to not just biological family, but like very close-knit, your very close-knit groups, the people that you spend your time with on the holidays, things like that. Because, of course, some family is found. Other family you are born into. So, the next card coming out reversed is the 8 of Swords. And this is about freeing oneself. So we're freeing oneself from these generational bonds, from the toxicity that has come down the matrilineal line. Somebody is doing the work and getting rid of that tendency.
We have a page of wands here. So there's a renewed energy and enthusiasm that's going to help with that. Because remember, I said earlier that there's a need for rest, and it doesn't look like that's changing anytime soon. Now we've got two wands together. We've got the queen, and then we also have this page. So supplemental support, supplemental energy for that queen. This could even be somebody who's in your tutelage, one of your kids, or somebody that you are mentoring. Maybe you're even a teacher. Because the next card we have coming out is this Three of Books, where we have the wily fox teaching these turkeys how to read English letters. The card coming out with that Three of Books is the...
Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I need to get it under control with the microphone tonight. I really apologize. I hope that hasn't been too loud.
So we have the sun reversed. Could be somebody who's very eager to learn, and they do all right, but they have to study a lot. Learning does not come easily, but in the end, the person succeeds. We also have the Six of Cups. So something returning from the past. These are some umbrella monsters.
Umbrella monsters, umbrella monsters, umbrella monsters.
We have the Seven and Eight of Cups too. So it looks like here we have a progression through the Six of Cups, something returning from the past, Seven of Cups, all these options opening up, and then Eight of Cups walking away. So a lot of times with the Eight of Cups, we're walking away because these options have opened up. And the last card for your reading today, Cancer, is the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is all about planning, and it's about charting a course. We have this backpack, and we have this pole here. Somebody's planning for a trek. So because you see the Six, the Seven, and the Eight of Cups coming out all sequentially like this, you will be able to implement some planning, Cancer, into this process and plot your escape.
So that is going to conclude the Cancer reading for this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be moving on now to the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video that moving forward with the members side of the channel, I'll be doing elementally correspondence scrying. So on Monday when I do water, I'll be using water for the scrying. So that's a bit of a change. I also do readings for the members over there. So if that's something that interests you, you're cordially invited. But of course, your views, your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your comments, etc. You know the drill. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. All of those things mean so much to me. And they really help in the algorithmic wasteland that is YouTube.
now I'm going to move on to the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio, if you would like to relax, forfeit your stress, allow it to pass gently into the ether. These are things that are really none of your business anyway. That's what I'd like to believe. So, if you have an intention for the reading, Scorpio, you can place that intention at this time. And I'm very nearly finished shuffling these cards. Okay. Okay. I think those are the cards. That's quite a stack. We'll see if I get through all of those. If I get through all of them, Scorpio. And I'll put the timestamp. All right. So, because we're starting out. All right, we're starting out with a bunch of different energies kind of colliding for your reading, Scorpio. So it looks like there's a lot of cards today, potentially because there's just a lot of energy floating around you. We are coming up on your birthday season. Things tend to accelerate around your birthday. Or maybe not. Maybe your life is different. I know how my life is. So the first one is the mellified man, the seven of bells, the mellified man. Somebody who has turned themselves entirely to honey, to become medicine for others. So who heals the healers, right? The seven of bells is also similar to the seven voices, which is the seven Coptic or Greek vowels. Vowels. And I go much further into all of that in other videos, specifically the one about the bornless right, because that's what Akephalos has written all over his torso is the seven vowels. But those were the seven original noises. So there's great power in this becoming a sticky, oozy blob of medicine as well. The seven voices would be very similar, in fact, to the energy of the infinity symbol, the infinite power that comes from the Creator. So these first 5 cards are all going to be tied up in this infinity energy. So let's get through it. We've got the Nullified Man. We have the Ace of Cups. So a new emotional beginning for you in some area, Scorpio. This could be a brand new relationship. It could be a relationship with somebody that has a renewal. But that would be the 6 of Cups because it might be returning from the past. Ace of Cups can also be an emotional epiphany, catharsis for you. The catharsis would have been the 10 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is the beginning of the new cycle, your life after that transformation. We have the Alley Man here. Now, the Alley Man is the demiurge of the Alley Man's tarot, the creator, its progenitor. And for this person to be showing up in the reverse, you do not want the architect of the maze to be plotting against you. So there might be a situation in your life where there's this orchestrator, somebody who pulls the strings, got a hand in every pocket, right? They might be throwing wrenches into your gears just to see what you do about it. There's not necessarily malice in this, but there is the intention of throwing you off course for whatever reason, Scorpio. We have a death card and an iteration of the devil coming out. So there's a lot of transformation. Obviously, Scorpio's in Scorpio season. That is the time for transformation if you're going through the astrological correspondences. This devil energy, you could be getting rid of vices at this time. You could be getting rid of bad habits. You could be shedding compulsions. You might even have had an illness and you're recovering from illness. The death and the devil card together, it seems like it would be bad, but not necessarily. It's like somebody's getting taken down to visit the devil by death. And that could have to do with this orchestrator too. That if there was somebody, Scorpio, who was previously pulling a lot of strings in your life, that person might be getting their just desserts. Then we have that infinite power of source coming through. Really solidifying that for you. All right. So this one, we have a Page of Wands, and then hold on just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. I'm going to put these cards aside and come back to them if that is what needs to happen. Okay. Yes. So now we've got a friend group where we've got you, Scorpio, showing up in one of these iterations. Could be this guy. Could be this guy. Could be you showing up in your very own energy as the death card, of course. Could be a combination of all of the above, and that all of these different parts of yourself are kind of hanging out with each other. And that's what this Ace of Cups is about. That's possible. So we've got a couple people showing up. We've got a Page of Wands and we have a Queen of Swords. Page of Wands is fire of fire. I'm sorry, that's a Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is fire of fire energy. And then we also have that water of air energy with the Queen of Swords. So let's make tea, right? So this Knight of Wands could be that this Queen of Swords is coming in quickly. The Knight of Wands could be somebody who's always on the move, very active. And then the Queen of Swords could be air sign energy, somebody who speaks their mind a lot. And I mentioned these people as other people in your life because the card that comes out with them is the Three of Cups, which is about close-knit friendships. So we've got the one friend who's the driving force of the action. We've got the one friend who's not afraid to speak their mind. And then we have you, Scorpio, the healer to the healers. Perhaps you're coming through in some other way in this reading. I'm really sensing about this mellified man. That there's a part of you, Scorpio, that's really trying to reach out to the people who need medicine. It's a very expensive and rarefied medicine because somebody had to candy themselves to create it. It's almost like could be a elixir for immortality even. So these people around you, close-knit friendships. We have the Strength card coming out reversed. So this is a fellow fixed sign, Leo. And the Strength card reversed, of course, is weakness, helplessness, insecurity. So not that you're not fully capable of things, but that you're not necessarily, you feel powerless in a situation. With that Strength card reversed, we have the Masterless Knight and we have the King of Swords. So just like we had our Knight of Wands and our Queen of Swords coming out together, we have these foils coming out. The Masterless Knight reversed and the King of Swords reversed. So these might be the weaknesses of these two friends that are in your friend group. The weakness of the one friend is that they are only in it for themselves when it comes right down to it. Or that they don't consider what it is that others will need in a situation. That's also possible. Because you would have to take the time to sit down and think about it instead of taking action. The King of Swords reversed, the weakness that person is expressing is that they don't always have the accurate information and they're not always following the logic train all the way to the final station. That this person might be someone who does speak their mind, but doesn't necessarily see gray areas very well. So next we have Deals in the Dark which is this skeleton with a cloak full of nasty goodies, watches, daggers, a cross, a cursed amulet. There's some kind of potential for underhanded dealing. All of you might be going in together on something. Gosh, this is a really intriguing reading for you, Scorpio, I have to say. It's kind of like the plot of Reservoir Dogs, right? Where you have them, the guys, you get introduced to all of the characters, and you find out their names, right? So now we've got the characters, we've found their names, we're about to hear about the heist. What's going down? So there's a lack of savings or a lack of conservation of resources. But the person isn't worried about it either. It's a kind of an easy come, easy go sort of energy along with this deals in the dark. We do have the Hermit coming out. We've got this little ghost kind of hiding behind a leaf. So that's an interesting energy to have because we know that you have close friends. We know what their strengths and weaknesses are. It could be that everybody gets mixed up in something that maybe isn't above board, and it has to do with embezzling. Could also be the Four of Pentacles reversed. This is the Nine of Swords, one of the Nine of Swords in this deck, and you can see the swords are circling this person, but it's in the reverse. So I think that probably the person is not in danger of being found out, actually, but they might be secluding themselves because they're worried about giving up that information. Okay, so spoiler alert, at the very end, it's going to just be a close call. This is not going to be something that is catastrophic. You'll be happy to know. And justice will be served. We do have that King of Swords now coming out upright, and that is at the end with the Tower. But in the meantime, we have Black Moon, and it's reversed. So the things that ostracize us from other people, and that coming out reversed really kind of like brings this card back up, that I think there are things that these people are doing that are totally unconscionable. And there are things that you should look at what they're doing and think like, that is awful. That is heinous. I would not work with somebody like that. That's a possibility. But the next two cards that come out, we have sequentially the Emperor, and then we have the Coronation card, and these cards are coming out in the reverse. So to me also that could be like the plot being exposed to law enforcement and the government before it really has an opportunity to take off. Or that figures in authority become wise to the operation before anything is able to happen. But as I mentioned before, The most important thing is that justice will be served, and it will be a close call with that Tower in reverse.
Very intriguing reading for you, Scorpio. Very intriguing reading this week. Hi, Ginger. Thank you for coming. So the next sign I'm going to do is Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Pisces, if you would just relax and allow your mind to wander. If you have set an intention for your reading today, I invite you at this time to go ahead and get that set in your mind while I shuffle the cards. And I do want to mention again, now that it's later in the video, that I talked a little bit about the adventure that I went on today at the beginning of the video. I found a bunch of VHS tapes, and I went into the library that's right up the street. It was a nice long walk. And I will be done shuffling these cards for you, Pisces, very soon. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to... How many cards? Some of these cards. Like there. Yeah. Okay. And how many more like here? Yeah, these ones. Okay. All right, we can always take more if we need to. Oh, hi, Tommy Pickles. I can't believe how grown up all the kids from Rugrats are. I remember when they were just babies. Okay, so the timestamp is going to be 4 minutes. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start the reading with this iteration of the Death card. It's coming out reversed, and what makes this card different is that we have this amorphous figure in the foreground. We have kind of a castle or a tower in the background. There's no path between the two, but there's an implication of the person traveling to or from that building because of the framing and the directionality. So a transformation can occur on a journey. Additionally, there's a lot of what look like flames on this card. So here we're tying in aspects of the Judgment card as well, and that progression to the next level. So next we have the Temperance card. So there's a patience required.
while this transformation is taking place. This transformation is going to be more like a journey than an instantaneous poof. It's going to be like you have to pupate, you have to grow those wings inside the chrysalis. So while that's occurring, we have the Temperance card coming out here. There's practice to be done. There's an artifice. There's a patience. There's working on oneself. And in the meantime, the things that we're working on, we've got one of the jokers, and this particular joker is cutting these marionette strings, being controlled by others. Some people do have others write their jokes for them. In this particular case, who's really in control? It looks as though that figure is in control because they're reaching up to cut the ropes. But you look at the hands and it looks like the puppet masters are actually pulling the hands to cut the rope. So there's a potential for the growth of the identity along with this transformative process. There's a move toward independent thought and free will. And once those things have been hashed out in this situation, Pisces, then the transformation will occur and resolution will come. But until that point, these cards remain in the reverse. We have a lot of major arcana energy popping out of your reading. So there's a shedding of burdens, and this goes along with this Five of Pentacles. You might be going through a lean time, and so you're cutting down on your subscription services. You might be getting rid of things that are recurring monthly expenses. So there's a shedding of burdens. It can be related to that financial stress. We have this back alley here. It's well lit with all of these fluorescent signs. So this would be the alley proper of the alley man's tarot. This would be where you go to find the alley man, where you go to get the cards read. And because this card is coming out with this Five of Pentacles, you know, the Five of Pentacles is like walking past this window of this building where you could obtain help, but you choose not to go inside. You could be choosing help from a different source at this time. So the alley could represent an alternative source of income, but maybe like a back alley type, like reselling. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just that you might be selling things on OfferUp or Craigslist. Not that those things aren't legitimate, but that you're kind of like hustling pretty hard. Oh, Giuseppe. So we have the Keeper of Swords coming out reversed, and it's coming out with Giuseppe. Now, Giuseppe likes to be a helpful guy. A lot of the time I see him coming out reversed, though. And I think this time, while he is coming out reversed, this Keeper of Swords energy, somebody not following the rules, or maybe changing the rules. I'm going to change the rules, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to put back 3 of these cards. that I don't resonate with, that do not bring me joy. And as I take them out, I will show you what they are. One of them is going to be the Four of Pentacles in the reverse as our last card. That's not a very strong card to end on. So I'm just going to discard that one. I'm going to take out this Judgment card. It seems superfluous. We already know there's a lot of transformation going on for you right now, Pisces, and we already know the constraints by which it will need to happen. And I'm taking out the Solabusca card because I don't like reading this card. I'm going to work on it. I ordered the Solabusca deck, so go ahead and go through and get everything in context, fully desensitize myself, and then I can come back and read this card like an adult. But those are the three that I'm pulling out. Thank you for your service, Giuseppe. Put those in my discard pile. Okay, so on this side of that transformation, we're waiting. Seven of Cups, there's a lot of options open. You might be feeling kind of overwhelmed, and you might be bouncing around from living situation to living situation, not really able to get a good footing under yourself. And then on the opposite side of that transformation, we've got 9 of Clocks in the reverse. So the potential for you to have all of the time that you need for anything. We've got Lightning in a bottle. And that's coming out upright. So it's going to be like that thunder strike, that lightning strike moment where you're able to trap it in that bottle like Benjamin Franklin did. That 9 of Clocks is kind of coming out with, let's look at how this is sequential. Okay, so when you have all of this time, this is also going to bring in the victory and mobility with the Chariot card. Some of you might have musical endeavors that you've wanted to focus on, and you'll have the opportunity to do that as well. It doesn't just have to be musical endeavors. Those are the things that he's holding. But it would be like leisure activities. Victory, mobility, leisure activities. Reconnecting to source. And this is the hand of the hunter. So there's a connection to source that takes place when you are hunting. And the way that you appeal to that higher power as an intermediary between you and the animals sometimes, to translate the language of the animals in a way that you can connect to them. Maybe that happens through music. And then finally, we have the 6 of Swords. You'll have the potential to travel as well. And all because of that lightning strike moment. And then the last 2 cards that I have for your reading, Pisces. I have Payman and I have the Bogeyman reversed. Excuse me. And I had a sneeze. You're welcome, Pisces. So, these two cards coming out together is really you taking your power back in the situation. Whereas you might have seen things as scary before, you might have seen people, places, things, etc., as being more like threatening.
Oh, hi, Victoria. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. Bless you also.
Now you see all of those things as entities that have the potential to be bargained with. Payment is always very eager to make a deal with the right person.
So that is going to conclude your reading this week, Pisces, and it is going to conclude the water sign readings for this week. This week. So I'm going to go now over to the member side of the channel, and I do apologize for Osito howling as he does. Oh, thank you, Tommy Pickles. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.